Good morning. So this is going to be a little bit different than other teaching or demonstration liturgies that we've had before. And it's going to be a little bit different too when we come to the children's sermon. So I'm going to need two things from you. So especially you young ones. One, I'm going to need, when I ask you a question, you're going to need to speak as loudly as you can. So not only can I hear you all the way from over here, but I can hear you through your mask. Can you do that for me? Okay, that was a little better. Very good. Thank you so much. So the theme that we're going to discuss as we kind of go through the Divine Liturgy is this understanding that the liturgy is a journey. It's a trip. It's an adventure. How many of you have gone on a journey before? Have any of you guys been to Disneyland or Disney World? Yeah, you've been? When you went, did you just wake up, roll out of bed, and go straight to Disney? Now, what were some of the things that you had to do first? Get dressed, right? You're not going to go on a trip naked. And not only do you get dressed appropriately. If I'm going to the North Pole, am I going to bring my swimsuit? No. If I'm going to the Caribbean, am I going to bring my snow pants? So we have to bring the appropriate things. So do you just bring clothes? What else do you have to bring when you go on a trip? Toothbrush, right? We've got to clean ourselves. So not only a toothbrush, clothes, we have to get dressed for the trip. We have to, if we're not staying at a hotel, maybe we need to bring soap. What else do we need before we go on a journey? I've got a really easy one for you. Oh, very good. You beat me to it. Directions, right? And even before directions, you need to know where you're going. But you have to have directions. You have to have an idea of where you're going, where you want to end up, how you're going to get there. What are some other things that you need for a trip, a vacation, or a journey? Shoes, right? Why do you need shoes? So you don't step on anything hard, right? Because part of a journey, even if you're taking a train or a plane or you're driving your car, there's still going to be a lot of walking. We're going to be moving, and so we need to have the right shoes for that. What are some other things that you need for a journey? Food, right? We need to have some sort of nourishment because otherwise we're going to get hungry. We're going to get lost. What else do you need on the journey? Now, when you go on a family vacation, I don't want to get any of the kids in trouble, but is there usually one person who's kind of in charge? Okay, the driver. So usually there's someone who's kind of leading, turning the wheel, setting out the directions, passing out the plane tickets, whatever the case may be. There needs to be someone who kind of organizes, oversees what's going on. Can anyone think of anything else that we need on a journey or before even a journey begins? God, right? That's a very important one. We should always, before we undertake a trip, whether it's just driving to church or across the street or going on a family vacation, we should always say a prayer. We should invite Christ to be part of that journey. So the Divine Liturgy is a journey, is a trip. And just like we have to prepare for the vacation, we should prepare for the divine liturgy. Now, it's going to be a little bit different. We may not need to fill a suitcase full of things before we come to church, but we do need to dress appropriately. We need to recognize that this is the house of who? God. So we need to prepare not just our outside, but especially our inside, right? We need to maybe not just shower, but also make sure that inside we're in a good place. Maybe that means we need to ask our brothers or our sisters for their forgiveness. We need to apologize to our parents, right? What are some other things that connect journeys to the liturgy? Someone said something very important. We need food, right? In the case of the divine liturgy, this is the most important part because, in fact, our journey, our adventure is to a banquet, is to a celebration, which is the kingdom of God that we get to experience here. What an amazing thing. What an amazing and beautiful thing. We need to have directions. Every Sunday, either the deacon or the priest, they come out and they read from a book. What is the book that we read from? Big, beautiful book. The gospel, the Bible, right? These help give us directions how we can direct our lives so that we are moving in the direction of God's kingdom. So all of these things are very important. So I want you to remember as we go through the divine liturgy that this is a journey. That's why we get up and we move and we have entrances, whether the small entrance or the great entrance, because we are moving and not just physically. And in the case of the pews, you can't really move much at all, but at least in our hearts, we're moving towards the kingdom of God. Everyone, please stand.